So you want to grow a successful YouTube channel in 2022, 2023, 2025. Guess what? The foundations of that are not going to change. So what do I mean by a successful YouTube channel? Well, in this particular case, a successful YouTube channel as defined by me is a YouTube channel that is fully monetized, can earn over $1,000 a month or more, beginning to put you in the position to be a full-time YouTuber. And another measurement that I use for success is, can this channel reasonably get to building a community of over 10,000 subscribers? These are my baseline minimum criteria for a successful YouTube channel. In my opinion, anybody who has a YouTube channel that also allows them to produce a full-time income, I don't care about your views, I don't care about your subscribers. If you're making a full-time livable income from YouTube, then you have a successful YouTube channel. So today we're going to talk about how you can make that happen. How do you grow and build a successful YouTube channel? And how do you begin the transition to being a full-time YouTuber? Now, let me get something out of the way and off my chest because it's gonna be a somewhat spicy video. YouTube, unfortunately, as a culture has largely been reduced to popularity contests, status games, and clout chasing. But if you want a serious long-term career as a content creator, the healthiest thing that you can do in terms of a creator mindset is to ignore that nonsense and focus on a couple of key things. How do you put your audience first? How do you make this financially viable? And how do you make this sustainable for your lifestyle? Everyone has a different situation. Some of you are in your 20s and can afford to take massive amounts of risk. Some of you are in your 30s. You have to be responsible. You might have a full-time job. You might have a family. Some of you are in situations where you might be living with a very difficult thing. You might be going through some life changes that make it a struggle, and content creation for you right now represents your escape, but you'd love it to also be your exit strategy from a really crappy job or an abusive, toxic workplace. Some of you have different struggles. You might have a disability, you might have a chronic illness, you might have, a family that is very reliant on you from a time standpoint, and you don't got all the time in the world to build a channel or chase your dreams. Everybody's got different circumstances, but these baselines of success that I came up with are target goals that will just help you realize what is realistic, what's achievable, and what you can do in a reasonable time frame. Do the best you can with what you know, where you are, and with what you have. Let's start with your monetization goals. One of the first and biggest hurdles to building a successful YouTube channel is just qualifying for monetization on YouTube, because you have to do some very specific things. You have to get 1,000 subscribers, and you can do that within any time frame. But within 12 months, you have to have 4,000 hours of public watch time. Now, you should also know that YouTube Shorts, while it can get massive views, can go viral even for smaller YouTube channels. If that viewing watch time comes from the YouTube short shelf, which is where the virality comes from, instead of it being from normal views on desktops, laptops, etc., is not going to count towards your public watch time. So YouTube Shorts might be able to help you reach the subscriber count goals, but it won't necessarily help you reach your watch time goals. And you should know that. YouTube live streams, on the other hand, it can be very challenging sometimes to grow that with subscribers. It could also work out really well. For me, on my podcast channel, which I recently got monetized, I'll do a breakdown on how long it takes to get monetized once you apply to the YouTube Partner Program and all of those details in another video. But getting the watch time was actually something that I was able to accomplish really quickly by doing a Monday to Friday podcast. So I have a separate channel for that, and I was able to get some interesting data on how quickly you can gain watch time by making long form content. That's gonna not suit everybody's situation in terms of making long form content or doing live streaming. It may not be what some of you want to do. I just wanted you to understand it is an option. And I've made several videos, playlists even, around the idea of getting the 4,000 hours of watch time. And I broke it down into a system that you can use in almost any situation. And then finally, let's talk about the other thing you really need in order to qualify for YouTube monetization, and that's to have no community guideline strikes. which means you have to be following the YouTube terms of service to a T. Even when you're starting out as a small YouTuber, you need to absolutely make sure that you are not making borderline content. And this is something that probably does deserve its own video. Now, in order to get subscribers and to be able to get the views and watch time you need, I recommend that people choose a niche for their content. And by choosing a niche, I know that that makes a lot of you sad because you want to make whatever videos you want to make, but it's really hard to get people to commit to you making random content, and you may not have the experience to pull off being a personality-driven creator at the very start of your career. If you want to do YouTube starting out for fun, and you want to do this as a hobby to start, I recommend that you just make 100 crappy videos, and by crappy I mean videos you're using to learn, and get it out of your system. Mr. Beast made 100 crappy videos when he first started YouTube, and he didn't get to 1,000 subscribers off of his first 100 videos. It took him more than 100 videos to even get 1,000 subscribers. I made a dedicated video about this. I'll link to it in the description down below. But the 100 crappy videos philosophy comes down to the fact that Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD, over 15 million subscribers. His first 100 videos, he got 78 subscribers out of it. PewDiePie probably needs no introduction if you're trying to do YouTube. 100 million subscribers, has been doing this for like a decade. His first 100 videos, 2,500 subscribers. Mr. Beast, arguably the most famous and successful YouTube content creator. 100 videos, 780 something subscribers. That's it. Most YouTubers do not get massive success out of their first 100 videos. There are anomalies out there, but literally some of the biggest YouTubers in their own categories with tens of millions of subscribers, the first 100 out of the first 1,000 of their videos didn't even produce 1% of their overall lifetime career success. I want you to think about that when you think about the patience and the longevity, the marathon method when it comes to YouTube. I'm about the marathon method. I'm about the long game. If you want quick, viral, easy, overnight success, which I don't even believe exists, you can go somewhere else. That's not what I do on this channel. I give you the most realistic advice, painful as it might be, in achieving your goals when it comes to the creator economy, being a full-time content creator, or making some extra money using online tools like this. So now you have a realistic baseline of what to expect. If you want to be a hobbyist and enjoy this, you can make your first 100 videos and just learn and practice. If you're going into this with a career mentality from the very, very beginning, do not make random videos. Niche down, pick a specific audience. It's not about limiting yourself as much to a specific one type of video or topic as much as it is a specific audience. Who are you trying to reach? If you try to serve everybody, you serve nobody. The best intersection of picking a niche is probably picking something that you're passionate enough about to be consistent at, and that you are good enough at to speak confidently to the camera on. You're not always gonna be good at what you're passionate about, and you're not always gonna be passionate about the thing you're best in the world at sometimes. So find a balance there. Find something you like a lot and that you're good enough at so that you are excited enough to make content, because it gets to be a grind so that you can be consistent. And then number two, you need confidence. If you can be consistent and you can be confident on camera, that's going to be the majority of what allows you to have any shot of being successful. Consistency and confidence. I cannot stress enough the role that those play in your success in YouTube and in online business and in life in general. So niching down is good because what happens is if you can be consistent, both in the type of content you're making and your frequency of uploads, you have a reason for someone to make a commitment to you as a content creator and to your channel and to show up for you and to share your content with more people that are part of the same audience, the same community, the same culture. This is how it's going to work. You need to pick an audience so that you understand the culture of the people that are watching your content, what they like, what jokes, what memes they like, what would be attractive to them, what thumbnails you need to make. It's gonna be the guiding principle that helps you develop a real content strategy, and then you won't be struggling with your ideas nearly as much, and you won't be struggling with what to make and why it would be successful. The next part is, okay, we have the ad revenue, we have the monetization there. It's very difficult to make $1,000 a month on YouTube just from ad revenue alone, especially if you're not in a niche that pays very high CPMs and RPMs. I've done a dedicated video about which niches pay the most in YouTube. I'm gonna link to it in the description down below, but I'm gonna warn you now, you should not be making content exclusively off of the idea that it's just gonna pay you a lot in ad revenue. And there's a lot of other compromises you'll have to make if you decide to rely on YouTube AdSense revenue. I've done several videos around monetization. I've done entire playlists about it. If you want to understand that better, then I definitely recommend you watch those videos. So I'm going to link to those in the description also, so that you can understand the rules, what gets your videos demonetized, what earns the most money, and then also the fact that frankly, you need to balance the idea that when you do advertising on your channel, when you have ads on your channel that yes can pay you, you also need to consider the viewer experience and what interrupting a video could do to hurt the performance of your content and therefore hurt your growth. Sometimes what gets you views, watch time, average view duration, the things that will grow your channel in terms of engagement might require you to make less money. Sometimes you have to make a choice between growing the channel and growing the income, and you need to balance that out. Now, a good way to get around that is to expand the ways that you monetize outside of ad revenue on YouTube. One of the first things I did was affiliate marketing. This does work better in some niches rather than others. If you're an entertainer instead of like a tech reviewer or a beauty channel, then yeah, obviously tech reviewers and beauty channels can do much better on affiliate links than other people. Tutorial channels, software channels, obviously channels in entrepreneurship can absolutely crush it and make a ton of money when it comes to affiliate marketing. When I first got started on YouTube, one of the first keys to me making over $1,000 a month was the Amazon affiliate program when it came to recommending camera gear and camera lenses and budget laptop reviews. These were things that actually helped me to start making real money from my content. And back then, you couldn't exactly get brand deals really easily. It was actually hard to get paid brand deals or even free review units, even at 30,000 subscribers. Back in my day, everything was harder. And yeah, no, for real, it was actually harder. You could say there's all the advantages to starting early as a YouTuber you want. It was legit hard because no one took any of this seriously. The opportunities in the creator economy now, wildly different, even for smaller YouTubers, smaller content creators, much more opportunity, more people believe in it, more people take it seriously. I really don't think you have to have this scarcity mentality of it being too late. I think it's still early enough if you take it seriously and if you create real value. The closer you get to 10,000 subscribers in YouTube, the easier it becomes to do things successfully like paid sponsorship and brand deals. I've made several videos about that. This is how most full-time YouTubers actually make the majority of their income in a lot of cases. It's not usually the ad revenue, especially entertainment-based YouTubers probably get a tenth of a penny per view. YouTubers in higher paid niches like entrepreneurship, real estate, things like that, get more than a penny per view, sometimes 2 cents per view. So the difference is 10 to 20x on certain verticals of education versus entertainment. Entertainment requires massive views and virality to make the same amount of money. I'll give you a primary example of what I'm talking about. On the videos on my channel, which people love to dunk on me sometimes, like the view to subscriber ratio thing, irrelevant, cash over clout. 100,000 views on my channel is worth about $1,500. I've known viral content creators to get 1 million views and not even make $600 on their content, and that's for normal videos. YouTube shorts that go viral can go to 10 million views and still not even make $500. So virality does not pay as well as some people like to think. Virality is good for brand deals and leverage on that more than it is AdSense revenue. You also have to remember that the viral style of content that people want to make sometimes makes them vulnerable to copyright claims, which means that brands take the money for using things like, you know, their videos or their music or any other intellectual property sometimes. And sometimes those are false copyright claims and you have to fight them. But that could mean your money is held up for 30, 60, or 90 days longer than it would need to be anyway. So from a cash flow standpoint, it's not even great. This is why diversifying is key to your success in making $1,000 a month from YouTube or more, making up to $5,000, $10,000, and being a full-time content creator, being able to do things like hire a team and scale, and things like relationships with brands in terms of sponsored content definitely help with that. Diversifying your income beyond even that with things like affiliate marketing or selling your own products, that definitely helps, because from a cash flow standpoint, then there's opportunities for money to come in every day, potentially outside. If you have your own product, you could be making money every day. That helps with cash flow a lot. Easier to do when you have 10,000 subscribers and you have 100 to 1,000 true fans that will buy something. So that's actually really important in terms of growing the audience to at least 10,000. Easier to get brand deals and sponsorships. You can get them at lower levels, but they pay better and more consistently and reliably when you have over 10,000 subscribers and you're in a position where a brand deal might be paying you $5,000 to $1,500 potentially, depending on what the arrangement is. So then realistically, the amount of money that we're talking about, you can make it from maybe even one brand deal when you're at that level, as far as making $1,000 a month from YouTube. If you have your own products and some of them, like maybe you make 20 bucks on them or something, well, you're talking about 50 sales. It's not the hardest thing to do in the world if you have a large enough audience. So in terms of realistically making $1,000 a month on YouTube, it is something that is doable. It becomes much more reasonable as you grow as a creator by building a relationship with your audience, reliable content, and once you also understand different avenues of monetizing your YouTube channel. If you have 3 or 4 ways of monetizing your YouTube channel, it becomes much more reasonable for you to be able to get $1,000 a month or $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month if you have multiple ways of doing it. Multiple streams of income as a content creator is what will get you to full time in a more reasonable way. And as for getting 10,000 subscribers, this will obviously have another dedicated video updated for it. But what I will tell you is, for me, there is one correlation when it comes to views and subscribers that I actually do believe in, and it's the opposite of what people think. People think that because you have subscribers, you're supposed to get views, but views are what will give you subscribers, because everything on YouTube starts with getting the view, getting the click. There's no guarantee that just because you subscribe to a YouTube channel that you'll ever see that YouTube channel show up in your YouTube homepage ever again just because you hit subscribe. That's where niching down can be important, because you're more likely, if you keep watching that same type of content at some point, and that's in your watch history, to get that promoted to you again. Plenty of you watching this video, you have creators you're subscribed to, and if you don't go to their channel personally, you don't see their content come up. And so just remember that if you're a content creator, just remember your viewer experience. That'll become important for your whole YouTube career. That'll also help you understand the YouTube algorithm better. When it comes to getting subscribers though, which can be very good in terms of marketing yourself, it can be good in terms of leverage. When it comes to getting YouTube subscribers specifically, I believe in the 1% rule. I have a video about this where I talk about this in getting your first 1,000 subscribers and getting your first 10,000 subscribers and how long it takes. What I found is if you want 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, typically, if you target getting 100,000 views on YouTube, and if you can get very high average view durations and view percentages on your videos in terms of retention rate, the longer you retain people on your videos, the more likely they are to subscribe. If you can hit even 30 to 50% retention rate ratios, you are more likely to get someone to subscribe to your YouTube channel if they're watching that long on average. If you target 100,000 views, that will help you get your first 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to get to 10,000 subscribers, what I've seen consistently is getting at least 1 million views channel-wide is a better indicator that your channel can get to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. I've seen this over and over and over again. As for my channel, I have over 30 million lifetime video views as of the making of this video and over 500,000 subscribers. So this has worked out because my videos typically have very, very high average view durations and retention rates. And to my, for my situation, as I've been doing this for a very, very long time, my ability to convert viewers into subscribers is actually a little bit higher. One of the things I will tell you though is the opposite is not true. Subscribing does not guarantee viewership. That is the other thing that people get wrong about building a successful YouTube channel, because mostly this applies to truly famous YouTubers over 1 million subscribers, but it also depends on the type of content. Education is not entertainment, and entertainment is different if it's news content. That's a whole different animal. So just keep in mind that news and commentary have a different situation. Tech reviews have a different situation. Entertainment has a different situation, and education and tutorial content has a completely different situation. So you need to learn more about how your niche in YouTube works. When you choose a niche, study how it works. Not only study trending topics, but study viewer behavior patterns, study the monetization of that niche, study the culture more, and don't use big YouTubers as a universal way to look at YouTube. What I will tell you is the fundamentals of growing a YouTube channel from 0 to 1,000, from 0 to 10,000, from 1,000 to 10,000, most of those fundamentals are the same, and you can watch YouTube tips videos and best practices and be okay with what that teaches you as far as those fundamentals up to 10,000. But you should also be studying your specific niche, as well as learning the fundamentals of YouTube and the fundamentals of making money online and how to do things like create merchandise, set up affiliate marketing and links, working with brands and sponsorships, and maybe even creating your own physical or digital products. These are all very different things that you will need to learn long-term for your success to be a full-time YouTuber and start making more than $1,000 a month and making 5,000 or 10,000. It took me years to figure all this out and to become good at any of it. The same way it takes time to learn your camera, learn your video editing software. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the time. And the thing is, it's okay if it takes you longer than it takes somebody else, because they don't have your situation. Work with what you know, work with what you have, and work with where you are. Question of the day. What was the most helpful thing you got out of today's video? And what is it you want to learn more about when it comes to the creator economy, YouTube, or making money online? Let me know in the comments and I'll try to reply to as many of them as I can. If you enjoyed this video, watch my other YouTube tips videos. They will definitely help you. And I highly recommend that you watch my video on the best paying niches in YouTube if you want to be a full-time content creator. As always, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, go out there and create something awesome today. Take care.